Hi everyone, this is Scarlett. I would like to talk about content about grape essay. If that's triggering for you, please you don't have to watch this video. But for those of you who are going to stay, I want you all to listen to me very carefully. Victim blaming for what people wear is very harmful to the victim because in reality, that's how it goes. If you say women get assaulted because of how they dress, you are actually lied to. And when people hear about survivors wearing modest clothing, they call them the exception to the rule. But here is the truth. The rule does not exist. Criminology data. Decades of peer-reviewed data prove one thing. There is zero statistical correlation between clothing and assault. According to a major 25-year study on dress and sex, attackers do not choose victims based on outfits. In fact, interviews with convicted perpetrators prove most of them cannot even recall what their victims were wearing. They aren't looking at a wardrobe, they are looking for an opportunity. They look for isolation. Perpetrator proximity. The federal data from RAIN, RAIN, proves this further. 8 out of 10 survivors know their attacker. It is a classmate, a coworker, or a friend. The assault happens because of proximity and an attacker's choice. It has absolutely nothing to do with a clothing tag. The proof? Just look at the global exhibit called What Was I Wearing? It started at the University of Arkansas. It displays the exact clothes survivors wore during the assaults. You will see sweatpants, you will see scrubs, you will see children's outfits. Clothing does not trigger an attacker. The attacker makes a deliberate choice to commit a crime. The psychology? So why do people still blame the clothes? Psychologists call it just world fallacy. It is a coping mechanism. People desperately want to believe the world is safe. They want to believe that if they just follow the rules, bad things won't happen to them. Admitting that a modestly dressed woman can be assaulted means admitting that anyone can be a victim at any time. That reality terrifies people, so they victim blame to protect their own peace of mind. The flaw in victim blaming logic. Even if we entertain the flawed logic of victim blamers, their argument still completely falls apart. If modestly dressed survivors are just exceptions, then the existence of exceptions means no one is safe, ever truly safe. If clothing cannot protect everyone, it protects no one. At any given moment, anyone could be that exception. You could be the exception. I could be the exception. Therefore, policing clothing is absolutely futile. It provides a false sense of security while ignoring the actual danger. Conclusion: let's stop moving the goalpost to protect a myth. Clothing does not equal assault. Perpetrators cause assault. Let's start putting the accountability exactly where it belongs, on the perpetrators. And I am going to say this about my personal experience. Okay. I've told a few people about my situations, and this is hard for me to do. Just so you know, before I tell you what happened, I was dressed modestly every single time. I wore a guy t-shirt and a pair of jeans every single time it happened. Every time. It happened multiple times. And I wasn't flirting with the guy. I wasn't leading him on. I wasn't walking down any dark alleyways. I wasn't out at midnight walking down the sidewalk. We're talking about broad daylight in public, coffee shops, stores, the park. bus stops. That's what I'm talking about. Those places in the middle of the day. I know you're not going to victim blame me and said, well, you shouldn't have been grocery shopping that day wearing that modest outfit. I know you're not going to tell me that because I don't qualify for victim blaming, even by your own standards. And yet it happened to me multiple times. So I told this person, before I even told them what I was wearing, they automatically assumed. Other people asked me what I was wearing. They said, you're the exception. But this other person didn't care to ask me what I was wearing. Here's what they said to me. This was online on Twitter a while ago, and it stuck with me ever since because it hurt me so bad and enraged me because it's disgusting. Victim blaming truly is. So here's what they said to me. They said, if all these things are happening as much as you say it did, then it's not the men, it's you. You need to ask yourself why you keep having these experiences. Women are keen on creating their own issues and then complaining about the results. You receive the energy that you put out. If these things are definitely not the norm, if you're having them as much as you say you are. And hold on 1 second. So they said, you receive the energy that you put out. If this is happening as much as you say it is, it's not the norm. Like it's you. And then they told me, they said, portray yourself like a modest, respectable woman and you'll have no problem. But dress and act like a 304, a slut, then you'll get treated like one. And when I told them that I was dressed and acting modestly, they never responded to my comment underneath the post that we were underneath talking. So either they read it and were too egotistical to respond with "I'm sorry," "You're right," shouldn't have victim blamed you, or they didn't see it. So yeah. When you do everything right following the rule book and it still happens, it's safe to say that it was never your fault to begin with. And for those of you Christians who victim blame, just know Jesus never victim blamed anyone. He always put the acts of the perpetrator onto the perpetrator, never the victim at any point in time. And by the way, the guy on Twitter that victim blamed me, he had Christian in his bio. He said, you receive the energy that you put out. Women are keen on creating their own issues and then complaining about the results. By his logic, that means that Jesus received the energy that he put out when he loved and cared about people and he healed the sick and rose the dead, and then he was brutally tortured to death. I guess he received the energy that he put out because only bad things happen to bad people, right? No, that's wrong. It doesn't. It happens to good people too.